Hi everybody, and welcome to another video from Misty the Brit. Today I'd just like to talk to you a little bit about safety in the Philippines. There's been lots of videos made about this topic, and having now visited the Philippines on 3 occasions, I thought it was about time to weigh in on the topic myself. So, is it safe in the Philippines? Well, generally, yes and no. I think my general rule is that if you're visiting the big cities and staying to the more modern central areas of those cities, then it's much more likely that you're going to be safe. The same for if you're visiting the big tourist spots, anywhere with loads of tourist resorts, that sort of thing, the beaches, places like Boracay, Palawan, Siargao and places like this, you're definitely going to be pretty safe, same as in any other country in the world, I expect. I would, however, say that if you're going off the beaten track a little bit, or you're living out in the provinces and staying out in the provinces, you just need to be on your toes a little bit. But what I would say is that it's the same as anywhere else in the world. If you could walk around the poorer, dodgier areas of most cities in the West, you've got to be on your toes. You've got to be looking out. You've got to not be stupid about things. And I think it's just the same in the Philippines. Keep your bits about you. Don't show off all your fancy gear, and you'll be absolutely fine. No problems at all. I still do think, however, that everybody has a responsibility to take care of themselves and minimise potential risks. So wearing flashy jewellery, walking around flashing money around, but also walking around with an attitude, acting like you own the place, is only going to draw attention to you, and probably the unwanted kind. But to be honest, even if you do everything you can to minimise it, wear a crappy t-shirt and shorts, slippers, and that's all you're wandering about in, you've still got to be on your toes, because if you're like me, not too tall, but 6'1", then you're going to stand out. You're going to stand out naturally because of your height. I'm very pale, white hair. You know what I mean? It's difficult to miss me in those circumstances. So yeah, always worth being trying to keep things under control and trying to minimise the risks. I personally thought it was really safe in the Philippines to begin with. In fact, Misty and I went for a game of darts and a couple of drinks and some food with her brother, and I was all for walking back 9:30, 25 minutes walk. Come on, we've walked here, let's just walk back home. And Misty was like, no, you really shouldn't be doing this. It's too dangerous. You're going to stand out. As a foreigner, you're automatically a target for some people. Better just to not take the chance. So we got a strike. I did wonder to begin with whether maybe Misty was getting a little bit carried away or just a little bit overly cautious. So I did ask her brother about this same thing, and he was exactly the same. Please don't walk around too much on your own. There are some risks potentially involved in that. So I've got to listen to local people. I've got to pay attention to what they're saying. So naturally I'm going to be cautious, and we took a trike. When I think about the Philippines on the whole, as far as safety is concerned, I would say that it's generally pretty safe for foreigners, as long as you're careful. Certainly as safe as most places in the West, and other places I can think of. Is it the safest? No. The safest place I've ever been is China, without a shadow of a doubt. Probably closely second Malaysia, I would think. Both of those places I felt much safer than I did in my own home country, the UK. And yeah, the Philippines sadly doesn't quite meet up to the crazy safety standards I found in China. That was just on another level. But it's a fantastic place. The other thing I would say is your attitude reflects you, and you'll get that back. So if you're friendly, if you're like me, and you don't judge people on the size of the wallet, but on the size of their heart, then I think you've got a real opportunity to make some great friends, and then those friends will look after you, and they will help to keep you safe. They know the local customs, they know the local areas, and they're the best people to call on in these situations, I would suggest. It should be noted that I did speak to Misty and her brother quite a bit about this safety aspect. Misty was quite open about the fact that she's had situations in the past herself and as locals where her and her ex-boyfriend have been attacked and robbed. Somebody's tried to rob her when she's been just sat in a car, and people have tried in the middle of the night to break into a house. And her father's had to frighten them off by suggesting that he's got a gun. So, just to be honest, we're not making this stuff up. There are risks here. There are risks in the Philippines, and everybody just needs to be on their toes. Everybody's got stories, I'm sure, but just for information, that's one of the reasons why I take things very seriously when Misty suggests local advice like this. Really important to listen to the local people. They know the area best, they know the people best. Of course, everybody's opinions about safety are going to vary depending on their own circumstances, situation, and how comfortable they are. But these are my thoughts, and that's about wrapped it up for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much.